There have been numerous cases of spontaneous human combustion, but is it really a thing? I'm the host, and this is our channel. Humans Can Catch Fire. It might look like something out of a horror movie, but it's actually a well-documented phenomenon that has been studied by scientists for decades. It's called spontaneous human combustion, and it refers to the burning of a human body without any apparent external cause. Most of us are familiar with the case of John Firebrace, a 69-year-old man who was found burnt to death in his armchair in 1967. His house was in the small town of Bishop, Auckland in County Durham, England. The fire had apparently started in his left foot, which was clad in his favorite slipper. The rest of his body was completely intact, but his face, arms, and legs were burnt. Amazingly, the fire had not spread to the rest of the room. The wallpaper on the walls and the curtains on the windows were undamaged. Even the cushion on which he was sitting had only partially caught fire. But the most peculiar thing about the case was that there was no damage to the front door or the windows. There were no signs of forced entry and no obvious means of escape. How did the fire start, and how did it spread only to his body? Well, one theory is that Mr. Firesmith had somehow leaned against a hot air vent or an open fire, causing his clothes to catch fire. However, an alternative explanation was proposed by Dr. Alan Wenger of the University of Leeds. He suggested that Mr. Firesmith may have suffered from a rare disorder known as porphyria. This is a metabolic disorder that causes a buildup of certain chemicals in the blood. These chemicals are toxic and can lead to neurological problems, including seizures. Dr. Wensley hypothesized that a seizure could have caused Mr. Firesmith to burn his foot on a hot surface, which then ignited his slipper and the rest of his clothing. Another famous case of spontaneous human combustion occurred in 1984. A woman named Helen Viola was found burnt to death in her home in Niagara. Like Mr. Firesmith, her body was found sitting in an upright position in a chair. And again, the fire had not spread to the rest of the room. Helen's son James claimed that his mother had been a heavy smoker and that she often smoked in bed. However, the police were unable to determine the cause of the fire, and it was never conclusively proven that it was spontaneous. So is spontaneous human combustion a real phenomenon, or are these cases simply misdiagnoses or the result of hoaxes? Well, the truth is, we don't know. There have been hundreds of reported cases of spontaneous human combustion. The underlying cause has never been identified with certainty. Some researchers believe that it is a genuine phenomenon that can be explained by modern science, while others remain skeptical. More research is needed to determine whether spontaneous human combustion is a real phenomenon. But in the meantime, if you see someone who looks like they're on fire, don't try to put the fire out yourself. See you next time.